Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mass Reviewer back again with another review, and today we are doing a review for Blockbuster. This is a rewatch for me. It is a Netflix series that came out in 2022. Basically, the premise of the show is that it is a sitcom, basically not a sitcom really, but like just cast of characters, and they are working in the final blockbuster on Earth. They basically, the showrunners got the concept for the show basically since it was like released around the time that the last blockbuster actually closed down, and so this show is kind of meant to be a tribute to the Blockbuster franchise. And so yeah, let us just get into it. So I kind of did just kind of the plot itself is basically just there are employees that work at, it's just a bunch of not a bunch, like there's employees that are trying to run the final blockbuster, and specifically the main manager of the place, Tim. He is just, the plot is just him trying to work to make the business stay successful. Like with all the other blockbusters shutting down, he is like, he has faith in this one that like it will hopefully succeed. And yeah, I'll just like kind of talk about the plot with the characters intertwined here. So you have Tim, the manager, who is like the boss of the place in charge. You have Eliza, who is the love interest for Tim. She's another employee that is, she's got like relationship issues with her husband, and she also kind of likes Tim, but like it's a relationship kind of back and forth thing that goes on where it's like one of them like thinks that the other is happy in the relationship, and then it's very much like if you've seen Friends or just any kind of sitcom that has like relationship drama, it's very much that kind of stuff. So besides them, there is Connie, Carlos, Kayla, and Hannah. They are the other staff members of Blockbuster. And then you have Percy, who runs a mall that is in the, not a mall, he runs a party store at the strip mall that they work at, and he is the father of Kayla, and so he's also like the best friend of Tim, so he also like gets involved in whatever's going on usually. And yeah, just once again, the plot is just they're running the store. There's different episodes, like different stuff happens with like, I don't know, they'll have like some event for Halloween or Christmas or something, or they're doing some, they're trying to come up with like promotional material or something. So it's pretty basic stuff, nothing like too in depth with these plot. It's a regular just kind of sitcom basically. So in terms of the plot, I would give the plot like I'll go 3 to 5. Sitcom kind of plots of just different stuff happening each episode. Nothing like throughout the episodes there's like, I guess, some relationship drama between certain characters developed specifically just in the case of Eliza and Tim. The other characters, there's Hannah, she's trying to get into community college. Carlos himself, he wants to be a film director, but he gets, by the end of the series, he ends up getting rejected, but then he gets kind of inspired by this drunk Santa Claus how like every director gets rejected by Hollywood, so he himself is like already a Hollywood director at this point. So there is Kayla, who has like this, she's very much an angsty teen character, and so she fights with her dad a lot. And so Connie, she lost a friend. She makes a new friend by the end of the series. Like one of her friends died, and so yeah, I don't know. The characters, there's not really too much to say about them. I'll do a character ranking, but yeah, they're pretty basic, standard characters. They're fine. I would give them like, I guess a 5 out of 10. They're not good, but they're not bad. I would say just very standard sitcom characters. In terms of the settings, I think this is probably like maybe the highlight of the show, where it does all take place in this blockbuster, and I think it is like a nice setting for the show to take place in. This show is kind of like Superstore in a way. It feels kind of similar to Superstore, especially with the fact that you have the same actress that played Amy in Superstore also playing Eliza in this show, and her also having like in Superstore she had relationship difficulties and stuff. In this show she also like there's also relationship difficulties, but I would say that Superstore probably just, I don't know, it like had more interesting plots and stuff that would go on compared to this one, where it's like in Superstore, towards the end, once it got into like the later seasons, there was like a fear that the business was going to close down, but even so, like at that point we spent like a lot of time like with other stuff with the store itself, where in this show very much a lot of the time it feels like it is being spent on the business, them trying to like prevent the business from like shutting down and stuff. So it feels like they're constantly under pressure, whereas Superstore felt like they devoted like more time to actually just stuff, that shenanigans that happen in the store itself, where it feels like a bit less of that in this show. So but the setting itself, it's still nice, like the Blockbuster area. It's not like an actual Blockbuster that they filmed it in, but it is still I would give it like I'll go like a 6.5. I would say it was a good area, not the best, but fine, I would say. In terms of the comedy, there was a few good lines here and there. I'd give it like a 5.5 for the comedy. A lot of it came from Percy. I think Percy was pretty funny. Not even just Percy, a lot of characters here and there would have some good lines, but yeah, in terms of, it's not like incredible comedic writing here. It's just pretty basic sitcom lines here and there. So in terms of the worst thing, I would say that the worst thing about this is just the fact that the show got canceled. I guess like it's only one season, and the season itself kind of ends on a sad note of basically there's like this solar flare, like a solar storm thing happening, and from it all the electricity just all over the world, I'm assuming, just gets like shuts off for a bit because of this solar storm. And so everyone starts going to Blockbuster because all the streaming services are down. So it's like they're getting good business and stuff, but then like a riot starts breaking out because of just Percy getting involved with like this drunk Santa guy, and just customers fighting over like movies and stuff. And so the store gets trashed, and then you have Tim, the manager. He kind of loses hope, and he just basically tells Eliza that he also, the scene earlier, it's like he saw Aaron, who was Eliza's kind of like on and off husband. It's like they're dating, but like the entire series, it's like I'm saying Amy, not Amy. Amy is the character's name from. She feels really similar. Like the character is like pretty much the same, except in this she's like a bit more pathetic compared to in Superstore, where it's like Superstore, the character was like a bit more. The actress played a character that was a bit more like, I want to say confident. I want to say, and this one she feels a bit more like less confident. So anyway, Eliza, she was like, her husband cheated on her, but then it's like she doesn't want to break up for the sake of her daughter, and so but by the end of the series he proposes to her, but she says like rejects him. But then Tim, like, it's a misunderstanding trope where Tim thinks that she was going to accept the proposal and stuff. And so anyway, Tim is upset because Eliza is like, he thinks Eliza is with Aaron. Tim, like, he's also upset because the store business, like, just a riot just happened basically, and like they got looted. And yeah, he just the series ends with him just like leaving, and yeah, it's just depressing. I guess like it's there was never like a season 2, and I felt like it could have probably gotten a season 2 like to continue. I think that the series like didn't do great, but it would have been nice to see like where they take the characters and stuff, and like to maybe just another season like to get the business back on track. And I don't know, like it would have been nice to see a continuation. But so I'm gonna say the worst thing is I guess the ending, just because it's like a pretty sad ending with like not only the context of the show itself, but also just the context of like the fact that we're not going to see a continuation. So the show just does kind of end like on a very sad, depressing note of the business failing and like everyone kind of upset with their relationship status. So yeah, I would give the ending, I'm going to say just not good, but a lot of it is just because of the fact that the show got canceled, and so there was never like a continuation for this very depressing cliffhanger, I'm going to say. So in terms of the best thing, I would say that the best thing was probably, I really like Percy. I would say that Percy, he was pretty good, I would say. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. He was my favorite character, and just a lot of the plots that involved him and the moments with him I thought were pretty entertaining. So I would give my favorite thing, was probably Percy's character, so 7 out of 10 for him. And yeah, that is all of the score, so I'm going to do the calculations. So King Crimson. All right, so it ends up coming out to exactly a 5.75, which would be between a 5.5 and a 6, which would be between decent and above average. And I think I'm going to be a bit harsh with it. I would give it a 5.5. I think that I did see that apparently it did get a lot of negative reviews at first when it came out, but I would honestly say it was decent. Like it's just a very standard average sitcom. It's like not something that is, it's not reinventing the wheel, but you know, if you like these kind of shows, which I'm mostly like, I've seen better ones definitely in terms of like where this ranks in terms of sitcoms, this would probably be on the lower end, but even so, it doesn't do anything wrong. It just doesn't really do anything great either. So I would say it's decent. Like if you like this kind of stuff, it'll probably be it's watchable. It's not anything too amazing though. So I'm just gonna, but it was like enjoyable enough where I wouldn't just give it a 5 out of 10. I would say that it was at the very least, I'd give it a 5.5. I thought it was decent, but yeah, just not very, very basic, I would say. And it works, I'd say, for what it does. It's a bit depressing with the ending that it got, but what can you do about it, I guess. So. But yeah, that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, manga, web series, anything that you want me to review, leave it in the comments and I'll maybe possibly check it out. With that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.